Hi, I'm Debra Pascali-Bonaro, director of and host of the Orgasmic Birth podcast. And today we're going to journey beyond the physical into the energetic and deeply sacred passages of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. We often hear about the physical transformations of bringing life into the world, but what about the invisible realms, the unseen energies that a child, mother, partners navigate to manifest new life? Today's conversation will open those doors and shine light on the unspoken, especially the hidden wounds that many Black women carry on their journey into motherhood. We'll explore how birth is not just a physical event, but an energetic process, a shedding of identity almost, a metamorphosis from person to parent. And we'll discuss how this profound transformation, often steeped in challenges and pain, can be reclaimed as a source of power, pleasure, and deep connection. So I am really honored to introduce our guest today, Lailana Victoria, who describes herself as a bridge between worlds, a medium of nature, a deep diver of life and death, herbalist, root worker, doula, and artist of many forms. Her personal journey through pregnancy awakened her passion for birth work, igniting a mission to give voice to the unspoken stories of transformation and to bring sacredness to birth spaces. And Lailana, we met in our doula workshop, and at that time I was so taken by your stories, your wisdom, and your many gifts that you share. So I can't thank you enough for being willing to join us today and share a bit more of your personal journey and so much of your wisdom. Welcome.
Thank you so much. That was so beautifully spoken and such a good way to jump off the diving board here into these waters. And I'm really excited to be here. So for that introduction.
You're welcome. And I know that so much, transforms us in our own personal journey, and you have a little one. So can you kind of take us back to what that pregnancy journey was like for you? What supported you and prepared you for birth?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say first and foremost how much of an energetic process it was before it physically started to manifest and occur within me. Um, Little things like before I knew that I had conceived, people around me in my workspace and people that I didn't even really know like that would start asking me like, don't you have a kid? Do you have a baby? And I'm like, do I? Because last I heard, like, I definitely did not have a child. So it's just amazing how spirit works through different mediums to bring things to your attention. And that's kind of how that started for me. Um, and from there, just the feelings and the sensations in my own body of this transformation happening on tiny, tiny levels, it started to, become greater and greater as we went throughout the first trimester. Um, it was a lot of deep meditation, a lot of traveling through myself and within myself to really find like the cellular microscopic changes that were occurring and being able to have visual experiences with them when I would close my eyes and go within myself, um, is definitely just such a groundbreaking experience. And from going through all of those meditative spaces, you just start to recognize how insane it is that pregnancy, birth, postpartum isn't something that's like the norm to be educated about. And then when you go into it, it's this whole entire realm of wisdom and knowledge and pain and trauma that you're just instantly hit with, and it just becomes your responsibility, when really I think everyone in the world should be deeply educated about this in like the school systems and think it should really truly be a normal conversation to have at the dinner table rather than something that's like taboo, you know, and kept for spaces only like this. So it's beautiful the work you're doing too with it to bring light to it. One thing that I was really deeply reflecting on after our course in your class was that I was so ignorant to think I could be my own doula. Because I went into that pregnancy like, I'm going to be my own doula. Like, I don't need anyone to do this for me. And coming out of that, just the simple statistics of like having one woman sit in the room with you saying nothing creates a difference in the cesarean rates. So it has definitely been an enlightening journey. Everything from the first trimester to what I'm experiencing today has just been a portal of transformation.
Yeah. And I love how you say that there's so much transformation and so much wisdom that is out there but not talked about, right? That's why we're here to share that. So as you were preparing in your pregnancy, and I love that this kind of energy was around you even before, were there certain tools or certain bits of wisdom that helped you to choose where you were going to give birth, with whom, and begin to prepare?
Um, I will say that it was just instantly with me, instinctively with me, that I wanted to birth naturally. And by naturally, I mean vaginally. I never had the thought cross my mind to have a medicated birth because it was just in my spirit and in my will that I wanted to do this through my vagina from crown to root. Um, and that really stuck with me the whole entire pregnancy. So that wisdom alone of my body just wanting to honor its natural portal was definitely something that held a lot of weight and carried me through to be able to maintain myself, my body, my spirit, and my mind to be able to actually accomplish that.
Yeah. So can you take us to labor? Where were you? Tell us, just a short overview of what labor and birth was like for you.
Yes. So I really wanted to do a water birth um, at home in a birthing pool, but things changed. So I ended up laboring and birthing in a hospital, but nobody actually knew that I was in labor when I was laboring. They didn't know I was active. And I believe it's because of my composure during that process. For me, I always kind of reflect on it saying that I was in quote unquote denial that I was in labor because I expected and anticipated it to become so much more intense because of all the mental preparation I was doing. So I was like, no, this isn't the worst part. Like, it's going to be more than this. So that kind of kept me in a state of being able to get through it. And there came a point where I needed to get in the shower, and there was a shower in the hospital room, not a tub, because I wasn't on the labor delivery floor. So I got in the shower, and what initiated that was this deep squat. Like, it's like gravity just took over my body and put me down to the floor on my feet, and like the Malasana yoga pose. And at that point, I was making noises that I could not reenact if I tried. Just the most primal grunt. It was just a vibration that is so inexplicable. And so I made my way to the shower. I just remember telling my baby girl, I got you. And she came out into my hands, into the world. And that it was all me.
Wow. And was anyone else in that bathroom with you?
No, no one was in there.
Wow. What incredible strength and wisdom you had. And like, when people realized that you had given birth, what was that like?
Oh my gosh. People flooded into the room, like the birthing team flooded into the room. Well, so my partner, when I got in the shower, I called him because he had just left to go to work, thinking that like I wasn't in labor. And I called him, he was like, you need to call like the hospital staff because I'm not there. So I ended up, pulling the little string in the shower. And by the time they came, she was already here. And so many people flooded into the room, it quickly became a very disoriented experience. Just way too much started happening really fast. They were ready to cut the cord extremely fast. And this, then the third, like my placenta was coming out of my body as they were trying to like figure out how I did this by myself and do their precautional measures of how they, you know, have been trained to handle those situations. So at that point, it was just very like, I was very out of body, processing my experience, trying to get in my body to like advocate for myself at the same time. So it became very, very hectic, very chaotic, very quick. But um, I still got the water birth I wanted in one way or another. So can't complain.
Yeah, and as you say that, I always feel sadness. Here you had this beautiful birth, right? You caught your own daughter, you listened to your body and your wisdom. And I know and I honor that you say, they are trained for all of this, but I wish that there could have been that peaceful transition for them to support you, rather than a more kind of abrupt shift from that internal space of wisdom to the external of the hospital coming. But such an incredible story, and I love that you got your water that you wanted for sure. And showers do really offer comfort, not quite the same as immersion, but still a lot. Did you find it soothing to be in the shower at that point?
I couldn't have imagined not being in water at that point. Like it did a lot for me.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. And I know you say the energetic spaces that a child, mother, and father travel through to create new life, including the unspoken wounds of Black women in her journey to motherhood. Now that we've heard a bit of your story, would you like to talk about what you mean by that?
Absolutely. I actually have a bit of a writing that I would love to share. Give me one.
Please.
Okay, here it is. So I'm going to share this writing to go in depth about that. All right. So all things are pure energy before they densify into a physically perceivable form, as we've been speaking about. A pregnant woman is transversing through the spiritual realms 24/7, from the point of conception to postpartum. The increased sensitivities, heightened senses, like we know, like the nose becomes just an alarm for anything that's potentially to your body. The additional need for sleep, all these things point fingers to the fact that outside of your body, you're cultivating a greater energy. And when you consider what a melanated woman goes through this time, things can take a dark turn really quickly. The womb carries the powers and the pains of entire lineages and generations. The memories of distant ancestors begin to linger and attempt to attach to the childbearing person. This can create fear, shame, trauma, guilt, pressure, etc., around the pregnancy journey. It is definitely not for the weak. And to be able to alchemize these energies, let alone acknowledge that they are present, is a superpower. Resilience is the greatest gift of this journey. Um, so I really like to reflect on resilience as the fruit that this tree truly bears, because to be able to have such a beautiful experience of motherhood and parenthood out of things that have been so traumatizing in the past for us is, you know, the clichéness of you can't have the rainbow out without the storm is exactly how I kind of wrap this up into a nutshell. To say that there's so much more appreciation that goes into experiencing this type and form of love when you are so in tune with the hatred and the pain that has come before it. So to get personal with what I have experienced in my pregnancy journey, relating to the Black woman, it's a space where, especially being such an empathetic person in a medium, all of these different voices begin to speak and talk and chatter, and these energies take forms as thoughts. And when you're hearing these thoughts that are so dark, you instantly have to be like, am I thinking that thought? And once you can discern, no, like, and that took me a second to be like, okay, wait, these are not my thoughts. So where are they coming from? That's where you start getting to the root. And you're like, okay, like, it's not just me. This is ancestral. This has been occurring. This is the past, and I am the present and future. So, and I'm holding the future to say even more. So, um, that's definitely a space where I want to create more awareness, and I want to create a community where the Black woman feels comfortable and the Black family, because it goes beyond just the mother, it goes beyond the child, but especially the partner too, being that Black men and women have been pitted against each other time after time. It's a period in life where it can be really easy for a Black family to become a unit that just divides rather than truly unifying. So I think it's really important that there's a safety net around this group of people, um, so that we can really get to the root of it together, because community has a lot of power.
Yeah. Thank you, Lailana, for giving voice to that. I think it's so important to hear and to honor, for the Black family in particular, the ancestral trauma and your beautiful way of being able to hear it, honor it, and really, in a way, bring your healing to that as you journeyed through it. But I think it's so important. As a white woman, we all need to honor this and be a part of speaking up and creating equity, creating safety, creating healing. So I really appreciate those deep words of wisdom and your beautiful reading as well. You have such a gift of words. Are you curious about enhancing pleasure and easing discomfort in labor? Orgasmic Birth and Dame present the Pleasure Vibe Fin, a waterproof vibrator designed to empower your journey through pregnancy, birth, and beyond. Boost your oxytocin, ease discomfort naturally, and transform your birth into an empowered and even orgasmic experience. Plus, support postpartum healing and reconnect with your body. Are you ready to embrace the power of pleasure? Click below, learn more, and start your transformation today. You also talk about the process of shedding your identity through the journey. And I love those words of shedding your identity of a person to a parent and how it can be turned from pain to pleasure. Can you talk a bit about that kind of weaving as we keep weaving everything together?
Yeah, absolutely. So this point and the last one that we'll touch on too, they kind of start to integrate and mesh together, because the process of shedding your identity truly is psychedelic, and that's what we're going to dive into next. Um, so I do have a writing for this as well. And I cite
Yes.
the process of shedding your identity through the journey of person to parent can be turned from pain to pleasure. Who you are is dissolving at a pace faster than you can keep up with. There is no point in latching to the past senses of self that sorely glued together your identity. On unconscious levels, you are seeking comfort and assurance for the programmed parts of you, for the programmed parts of your system, in which you do not know how to surrender. I'm sorry, let me restart that line. On unconscious levels, you are seeking comfort and assurance for the programmed parts of your system in which do not know how to surrender to the unknown. You are stronger than the program, and your system of sacred advanced technology is ready for an attunement. Your vibration is shifting rapidly, expanding and unfolding into the truth of its purpose. An old system needs to be updated. Otherwise, how would you ever adapt to the changes that come with growth? Let this journey teach you to smile and at discomfort and lovingly let go of all you know, especially of all you know yourself to be. Um, I'm going to elaborate on this, but there's some more for me to read here. So you cannot really become new until you have accepted the old. This being said, do not rush to shed all of the skin that no longer serves you, all of the skin that constricted your truth, the rough scales that guarded your heart, the thick layers that imprisoned your mind. That skin became a part of you. It became what you showed to the world. And trust me, no amount of masking can hide you from the divine. The unpeeling of layers you require will occur over time so long as you allow it to. A reptile sheds naturally, yet it rubs against rocks to assist in the process. So find a good rubbing rock and let go of the old skin you wore. Watch the heads turn once you step into your raw, radiant, real, unpeeled self. But most importantly, feel yourself become free.
I just have to ask everyone to pause and breathe those incredible words in. Just so beautiful and so articulate. I have so many images that I could see and feel as you read. So thank you for that beautiful reading. And
Yes.
you go on and you said in this you would talk about it on this psychedelic nature. You mentioned it here too. How can you give us that perspective of a psychedelic nature of pregnancy, birth, and parenting?
Yes. So within the word psychedelic is the word psyche, which kind of just encapsulates your entire being and beyond. When I think about what the psyche is, I think about not only my own mind, but where it can expand to the point where it's not just my mind anymore. The word psychedelic breaks down into mind manifest. There's a TED talk on this, and if I can find it, I'll send the link. But pretty much that being said, when you are becoming pregnant and going into this new world of parenthood, everything occurs from thought first, an idea first. So I like to say it as it comes from the crown and it comes down to the root. So everything really truly comes from this etheric realm before it's physical. Um, so in that process of manifestation, you find that anything is possible. If anything tells you that, it's pregnancy and life itself. So like, um, yes, but truly the way that this really integrates, you are unpeeling yourself on so many layers. Like just personally within my first trimester of pregnancy, anytime, and especially postpartum now too, but first trimester and postpartum, looking at yourself is like, who is that? Like, who am I? This feeling in my body is so foreign and unfamiliar. The scents that I used to enjoy, the foods that I used to enjoy, like all my senses are different. It's almost like you're not in your body, or like you just are growing a new mind, which you literally are, but it doesn't really click like that, you know, because our mind is used to that. So it's just the ability to surrender, which is very important when you are transversing the realm of psychedelics, and the ability to let go of yourself. Like if I tried to stop myself from changing the way that my body needed to support my pregnancy, not only my body, but my spirit and mind, then like I would just be fighting myself. I would just be fighting nature. So yeah, a big part of why I include psychedelicness in pregnancy, parenthood, and childhood is because it's just this whole entire realm of becoming new and existing beyond what you knew existed before. Um, when you look at children too, there are some experiments where it shows that a child's like toddler-like brain replicates the mind of an adult on psychedelic substances. So you see that a child is truly in this state where they are breaking boundaries of identity and of what is known and really diving into the unknown so that they can truly be freely.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, I hadn't thought about the psychedelic nature in the way that you described it, and it just fits so beautifully. And I have to bring up, because this is orgasmic birth, one last thing I love as a quote that you wrote is evolution is the biggest orgasm. What do you mean by that? And I'd love because it feels like it fits with all that you've been sharing.
Absolutely. It's there's nothing like it. I mean, you can compare sex and you can compare like whatever brings you that type of orgasmic pleasure, but all of these things come into evolution. And when you are growing and expanding yourself, expanding your psyche, exploring parts of you that you didn't know existed, and just allowing yourself to transform and be reborn through everything you go through in life, the sexual tension between that and between you and that, between the self and the potential of self is just, it's so beautiful. It's so orgasmic. So being able to look at that in the light of pleasure brings a whole new perspective around being able to grow through everything that you go through. And I do have another little writing to share on how nature intertwines with this orgasmic nature as well. The breeze runs its invisible fingers through Earth's hair, making the grass dance to wind's song. The stream flows atop soil and rock, carving art with its fluid blade, swimming freely in its ever-expansive tank. It is weightless as it trusts itself to fall over cliffs and settle into riverbanks. It knows it is supported by Earth. Earth provides the stage for water's performance, the stage itself performing a divine act of unconditional love, granting space to be molded, eroded, crashed into mercilessly, but never is its essence worn down. For water creates the potential of Earth, and Earth does the same for water. Like the trees trust the rain will come, like a cactus trusts that moisture exists, so it grows, following the compass of its inner abyss. There exists an erotic interconnection between elements, as each knows deeply that they are all each other. Like roots penetrate the earth with delicate force, like fire surrenders to water, and together they create a whole new element. Trusting the ability of each other's wisdom, transforming because all nature knows is growth and evolution. Nature knows no difference between sex and spirit. Nature knows no difference because it simply is. It is free. It is all, it is free, it is true, it is me, it is you. Let us return to the nature of love. Let us be living proof ooh, I'm gonna start that last line over again. Nature knows no difference because it simply is. It is all, it is free, it is true, it is me, it is you. Let us return to the nature of love. Let us be living proof that what's below mirrors what's above.
Beautiful, incredible. I know for everyone listening to, they have to be saying, what a gift your words bring and your wisdom. It just, I can feel my whole body kind of tingling with all that you've shared today. And I know for many people that maybe are pregnant or are birth keepers or maybe just had a baby, is there one last thing you'd like to leave them with? One tip of wisdom or
The first thing that comes to the forefront of my mind is never hide from love, and know that love shows up in various forms that can try to scare you away from love itself. Um, but let go of fear and let go of yourself and allow whatever you give faith into to support you. Um, yeah.
beautiful? I know people would love to know how can they reach you, follow you? Do you have links or social handles that people could reach out to you on?
Yes, the best way to reach me would be my Instagram. A thunder, it's about to storm. My Instagram is at Divine Feminine, and it's spelled Divinefeminine. EYENEFEMI9.
Beautiful. And we will add that to the show notes so everyone can look below where you're listening or watching and click over and reach out to Lailana. And I have to say, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making time today to join us and for sharing so many of your incredible writings and your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to. I'm excited for whoever's spirit this may get the opportunity to grace.
And for all of you listening, please share this episode with friends, family, colleagues that really will benefit from joining the conversation, hearing Lailana's beautiful words. And if you have time, please rate and review us. That truly helps us to reach more people so we can continue to grow our community together and offer everyone pleasure, healing, connection, and love. So thank you, Lailana. Thank you to all that have joined us today. And I hope you'll join us next week for the next episode of the Orgasmic Birth Podcast.